This is America in Space, a weekly news and information program on current events dealing with the space industry.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today. I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor. As promised, we have an update on the Crew 5 flight to the International Space Station. Hurricane Ian has pushed the launch back by at least a day to October the 4th and may push it out further depending upon the severity and length of the storm over Florida. The hurricane reached Category 4 before making landfall near Cape Coral on the Gulf Coast of Florida. And NASA officials published an update on September 27th saying mission teams will continue to monitor the impacts of Ian on the Space Coast and NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida and could push the launch date out again as necessary. We'll keep you posted. In other space news, like a scene from a science fiction movie, NASA's spacecraft Double Asteroid Redirection Test, also known as DART, has successfully completed the world's first planetary defense technology demonstration by successfully impacting the asteroid Dimorphos at 7:14 p.m. Eastern Time on Monday, September the 26th. This was NASA's first attempt to move an asteroid in space. DART has been traveling to reach the asteroid target since its launch in November 2021, and on Monday it hit its target going about 13,421 miles an hour. Here during the live broadcast of DART's impact are CNN Space Defense correspondent Kristen Fisher, Colonel Cedric Layton, and CNN's Aaron Burnett to discuss the mission and its importance.
NASA is about to intentionally crash a spacecraft into an asteroid, and they're going to do it right here on live television. The asteroid named Dimorphos you're looking at on your screen. The spacecraft is NASA's Double Asteroid Redirection Test spacecraft. Call it DART. Now, Dimorphos poses no threat to Earth tonight, but the goal for NASA is to see if they can push the asteroid off course. So it's something they could do in the future to prevent Earth from Armageddon. It is the first time NASA is attempting a test like this. So let's go straight to Kristen Fisher at Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Lab. She's in Maryland, where Mission Control is. Kristen, we've got this live image on the screen. You're there in the control room. This is a first, an unprecedented event. Tell us what we're looking at.
Well, Aaron, we are now exactly 2 minutes and 58 seconds to impact. And what you're seeing right now on your screen is all live images from a camera that is mounted on the DART spacecraft. And for a mission this complicated and consequential, what's about to happen is actually quite simple. NASA is going to take this multi-million-dollar spacecraft and just slam it into an asteroid, Dimorphos. And so this spacecraft is traveling at a speed of 4 miles per second, not per hour, 4 miles per second. That's about 14,000 miles per hour. And 2 minutes, slam into that smaller asteroid on the right, Dimorphos. You're going to watch as it fills your screen. And then when it hits, it's just going to go black. Complete loss of signal. One of the only times that you're going to see a NASA mission control room hopefully cheer at the destruction of a spacecraft and the loss of signal.
Right. Kristen explaining, so we're looking at the smaller dot there. That is Dimorphos. It's about the size, I understand, Colonel, of Egypt's Great Pyramid. The spacecraft is equivalent to the size of a refrigerator. And you're in the vast vacuum of space here. I mean, how amazing is it that NASA could pull this off?
Well, this is incredibly amazing. This is really the first time, Aaron, that we are using things that we've talked about in science fiction, things that we see in movies and in the TV series that is really designed to protect the environment and the planet itself. You go back to the time of the dinosaurs, and the theory is that the dinosaurs were made extinct because of an asteroid or a series of asteroids hitting the Earth. There was a case in Russia in the late 19th century, early 20th century, where we actually had an asteroid hit Siberia that resulted in a lot of destruction of territory there. Luckily, not very populated territory, but still the danger is definitely there. And it's something that even though the probability is low, it's one of those low probability, high impact things that could happen. So with this experiment, we're looking at NASA potentially being able to protect our planet from asteroids of the future.
DART hitting the Dimorphos asteroid. Right now, Wow, look at the detail that you can see.
It is amazing. It looks like a...
So those are rocks on the surface of Dimorphos of some kind. Big cheers going up here inside the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory. Aaron, you just think about how much time and energy the people in this room have how much time and effort they put into this being a success. And there, I think you can see the crowd cheering down in Mission Control. Probably the only time that you're going to cheer for a loss of a spacecraft, Aaron.
Oh, and we have impact. A triumph for humanity in the name of planetary defense.
In the name of planetary defense. Obviously, celebration in that room. I mean, talk about threading a needle, Kristen. I mean, you just said, you're talking about that they just sent from Earth an object the size of a refrigerator into an object the size of the Great Pyramid in the middle of space at 14,000 miles an hour, and they hit it.
As part of NASA's overall planetary defense strategy, DART's impact with the asteroid demonstrated a viable mitigation technique for protecting the planet from an Earthbound asteroid or comet if one were ever detected. Kristen Fisher explains how they will be able to measure how effectively DART deflected the asteroid.
It's unbelievable. So now, Aaron, the next big challenge. NASA has completed its first big objective. They've proven that they can do this. They've proven that they can take this spacecraft and slam it into an asteroid. Now the big question is, were they able to successfully move this asteroid off its current orbit? They're not trying to move it by a lot. This asteroid is not going to blow into a million pieces like you saw in Armageddon. All they're trying to do, Aaron, is move it just slightly off its orbit so that if this were to happen in the future, where there were an asteroid that was potentially going to wipe out all of life as we know it on planet Earth, could they do this far enough in advance and knock this potentially killer asteroid off orbit and save the planet? I mean, that's truly the technology that they are testing here. And so it's going to take a few weeks before we know if they've successfully completed that objective. They do it by using ground-based telescopes that can actually see the orbit of that asteroid, see if they were able to push it off course.
Well, that's pretty cool, but to be quite honest, I didn't even know there was a NASA planetary defense strategy until I heard about DART. So it's good to know that they are preparing. Thank you for joining me. Remember each Tuesday to join David Denault for America's Return to Space, and join me every Friday for America in Space. From the Florida Space Coast, I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor for About Space Today.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to share our program with your family and friends and follow us on Facebook. Join us each week for news and information on America in Space.